Hello and welcome back. Today I am going to be talking about the 15 things that we did to save $10,000 in 2024. Now, I watch enough of these videos to know that as soon as you start talking about these things, inevitably there's going to be someone in the comments saying, well, I can't do that, or that doesn't apply to me. Just take what you can and leave the rest. I tried not to make it like super generic, like don't go get your coffee at Starbucks. Like, I don't get coffee at Starbucks anyways. So I tried not to make it super generic. I tried to give like tangible examples of what we did as an already pretty frugal family. So let's get into it. But before we do, if you would like to subscribe and like and comment, that would really help me out. So here we go. Number one. I talked about this in my last video, but we switched to Mint Mobile. We were paying $90 a month with AT&T. We did not finance our phones. We were just paying for unlimited everything through AT&T, and it was over $90 a month. We switched to Mint Mobile, and now we pay $35 a month for my husband and my cell phone. We pay annually, so that's how it averages out to $35 a month. Number two, I'm looking at my computer because I wrote it down before I started filming the video. Number two, we cut our grocery spending by 25%. If you watch Under the Median here on YouTube, they talk about the 10% challenge where you just go through every line item in your budget and you try and cut it by 10%. We have actually been able to get our grocery budget down 25% over the course of the year by doing various things. One of them is we have access to Aldi now, which we never did when we lived on the West Coast, but I've never utilized it. I don't know why. I've been trying to shop at Aldi half of the time. The other half we shop at Walmart just because Aldi doesn't always have everything that we need. So we have been shopping at Aldi and we have cut our grocery budget by 25%. Number three, we have cut out subscriptions. What we tend to do is rotate subscriptions. So we never have more than one or two at a time. Our monthly budget for subscriptions is $30. So we can have as many subscriptions as we can get for $30. We were spending upwards of $100 a month on subscriptions, just on various things. Subscriptions can really get you if you're not careful. Number four, we have lowered our electric bill. Part of this is because our air conditioning is seriously on its last leg. They have been out here a couple of times looking at it, but occasionally it just won't kick on. And so our house will get up to like 77 degrees, 78 degrees, which we lived in the Pacific Northwest, and most houses there don't have central AC, so we're not dying. But it has been pretty warm in here, and so if we can survive at 77, I'm like, we can survive at 73. So I've been turning the air up. Typically I would have it on like 70, 71, but we've been turning it up to like 73, 74 if we're not here, just trying to save on electricity. I would like to get our bill down to maybe $120, maybe even less. Right now it's averaging about $150 or $160, but I would like to get it down even more. We were up pushing 200, and so we've got it down by about $50 a month. But I would like to do a smidge better. Number five, we meal prep and eat all of our leftovers. And that includes when we go places. When people ask if we want to take food with us, we never say no. We bring it home and eat it. And we eat all of the food in our fridge and in our pantry. We try to not go grocery shopping until we have eaten most of the stuff in our fridge. Not so much the pantry, because things in the pantry don't tend to go bad as fast, but things in the fridge do, and then things in the fridge get pushed to the back, and then they get forgotten about, and then they expire. So we try and eat what we have to a reasonable level before we go grocery shopping again. And that actually saves us a lot of money. And my husband takes his lunch to work. My kids take their lunch to school. Everybody takes their lunch. I take my lunch or something to snack on when I go to work, which I only work about 15 hours a week. But we all take food with us. That way we're not tempted to eat out. And that leads into number six, which is we have completely cut out eating out. Eating out was never a big part of our budget. I would say we spent less than $100 a month on eating out, and I know that for a fact because I keep a detailed budget. I'm not just guessing. Some people will be like, I don't eat that much eating out, and then come to find out they're spending like $350 a month eating out. We have consistently for the last over a year spent less than $100 eating out every single month, and we're a family of 5. But lately we have just completely cut it out because we have other financial goals that we're trying to hit. The caveat is special occasions. So a birthday or an anniversary, we're allowed to go get something to eat outside of the house. But other than that, we eat at home. Number 7, we started drinking more water. I am a sucker for a diet soda or a sparkling water, and they're not great for you. Well, the soda's not. Sparkling water is not bad for you. But I have started drinking more water because it's cheaper, it's less waste, and yeah, we were spending a lot of our budget on sparkling water or diet soda. So that has been one shift that we've made. We've not cut it out completely, just cut back. You can actually save a lot of money by just cutting back instead of just completely doing without it. Number 8, I kind of talked about this in my last video too, but you can find free hobbies. A hobby that I've taken up lately is running because I'm running a 10K in 2025. I would like to maybe start training for a marathon in 2025, but I have not spent much money at all on this new hobby. I already had decent running shoes. The only thing I did was I spent $5 for the app that I'm using, and I spent $40 to sign up for the race. I have not bought new clothes. I did not buy new shoes. I didn't buy specialty equipment. I haven't really bought anything for it. Now that doesn't mean in the future, if I do start running longer distances, that I won't buy like a vest or some type of water bottle that I can hold on to easily. But right now I have not bought anything extra for it because I'm only running between 20 and 30 minutes. I'm not running, 15 miles at the moment. Number 9, we combine trips to save on gas. So if I'm already out, I will run the errands that I've been putting off for the last 3 weeks and try and save on some gas. We also try and use our more fuel efficient vehicle over our SUV whenever possible, because our car can get upwards to 40 miles a gallon. Our SUV gets like 22. So we try and use our small little car as much as possible to save on gas. Number 10, we reduced our fund money. This was also not an outrageous category. I would say 100 to 150. Very rarely did it push over $200 a month. But we have significantly cut back on our fund money as well. And this is only for a season. It's not for the rest of our lives. We can never just have fun. But we have cut it about in half because we're trying to reach other financial goals. Again, we might up it as our income grows, or as we start hitting these goals, it'll probably go back up. But right now we cut our fund money in half. Number 11. This is something that a lot of the fire community will tell you to do, and it's not a quick fix, or it's not always a quick fix. But when we were trying to move because of pot in our other apartment, there was a unit that was significantly cheaper in the same community, and we were like, why is it so cheap? And it was so cheap because it's not renovated. It has carpet, it has old cabinets. The cabinets on the inside, we had to lay stuff down because they're water damaged. But it's about $500 under market value for the area. And so we cut over $500 a month off on our rent just by keeping our eyes open, asking questions, and finding a non-renovated unit. Our specific apartment complex, which is not individually owned, it's owned by a larger company, said that typically apartments will keep unrenovated units available at a lower cost to try and accommodate those that can't afford the more renovated units. They don't keep very many on hand, but if you can get one, it can be a really, really good deal. Again, We live in a 2-bedroom. It's about 1,100 square feet, and we pay $1,400 a month. The same unit that we share a wall with is exact same layout. It's renovated, and it's almost $1,900 a month, if not more. It might be more. The prices kind of go up and down. They fluctuate depending on the time of year and how many available units they have. But if you can get a non-renovated unit in a really nice apartment complex, which we live in a decent apartment complex, it can just save you so much money. Number 12, we reviewed our annual memberships. So not just our monthly subscriptions, but things we pay annually, like we pay life insurance annually. We pay Costco and BJ's and I can't think of other ones that we pay annually. Oh, our car registrations. We pay all of these things annually, and so we kind of were going through all of these annual things, and we ended up cutting off Costco because we don't have a Costco super close by. We don't go there a ton. We don't get gas there because it's not convenient to get gas there. And so this year we're cutting out Costco, which again is only $65 for the whole year, but it's something. Number 13, we do not buy things or replace things until they are completely non-usable. An example, I wanted to replace this thing behind me. There's 4 doors, so this one's the top one, there's one underneath it, same thing on that side. So there's 4 doors under these shelves or drawers. The bottom 2, the doors are almost breaking off. And so I'm like, oh, do we want a new thing to put our curriculum in? Like, this is kind of big. We don't have, when we had Memoria Press, this was pretty much full. Now that we don't have Memoria Press anymore, with the exception of Latin, Farmer Boy, and I have some more Latin stuff in here. But that's my 3rd grader's cubby for her work, but she takes all of her workbooks to school every day or 2 days a week when she goes, and then my 1st grader stuff is over there. But it's still usable. The drawers still work. It still holds our books. So we're just gonna keep it until it's just completely not usable anymore. I've also have been trying to reduce our waste. Again, I'm not a zero waster. I'm not a vegan. We produce waste, but we're trying to not produce as much waste. And part of that is just not replacing things that really don't need to be replaced. And not only that, it saves you money. Number 14 kind of goes into this, but we stopped upgrading everything. My computer that I am using is, I think, 3 years old. My phone is 2 or 3 years old. Everything in our house we've had for the last several years. We don't upgrade anything unless it breaks. And honestly, I don't see a big change in the newest version of like the Macs or the iPhones. And so from here on out, we'll probably just try and buy refurbished, to be completely honest. And then furniture, we try and use it until it's just not usable anymore. That keeps more stuff out of, like Goodwill, which Goodwill can be kind of picky on what they take, and it keeps stuff out of landfills. So we try and use everything until it's just not usable anymore. And the last one, which might be a little controversial, but it's what we've done. We've upped our income. My husband takes overtime. He gets about 5 hours of overtime a week. And then I picked up a part-time job at our church, which is, I work anywhere from 10 to 15 hours a week. I make my own schedule. I go in when I want, as long as everything is getting done. They're really not too picky about it. And so we have picked up extra work. My husband's actually going back to school right now on his GI Bill. So we also get housing from the GI Bill. So we have found ways to up our income to also save. And another part of the income, another part of raising our income was because we really wanted to send our kids back to the hybrid school. And it's not as expensive as a private school, but it's also not super cheap either, but it's something that we value. And so if you use YNAB or you listen to the YNAB podcast, or you listen to Jesse, who's the founder of YNAB, it's not about hoarding every single dollar that you get. Saving is good. Saving is great. We should probably do more of it. But it's about spending on your values, and the hybrid school is something that we really value. And so it's a bigger percentage of our budget. It's about 12% of our budget for both of our older girls to go, but it's a values-based thing. And so it's worth me working 10 to 15 hours a week, and it's not such a big portion of our budget that we're like financially strapped, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So those are the 15 things we have done this year to save over $10,000. I did not calculate the exact number because that probably would have just taken too long, but it's over $10,000. I just rounded down to 10,000 because it's just a nice even number. I would say we were probably somewhere in the 11,000 to 12,000, but again, I don't have an exact number. So anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.